on 12 News, rolling down the river to experience nature up close. Plus, a Plymouth Ironman level athlete who seemed invincible, then a sudden scare.
If it can happen to me at age 40 with no family history and no symptoms at all, it can really happen to anybody.
But first, something Brooklyn Park police say is badly needed. 12 News starts right now. Brooklyn Park Police are getting one step closer to getting some additional space.
The City Council gave the green light for architects to come up with the design plan for its police building. Sonia Goins has more on the plan to expand.
It's not a done deal yet, but police are pretty hyped about getting some new space.
We're very excited and appreciative.
The plan would add about 20,000 square feet, and one of the perks is a covered heated garage. Police say it's badly needed.
This is where all our marked folks park.
It looks crowded.
It is crowded.
The garage would protect the squads from outside elements, but it would also allow officers to do their job much faster.
A lot of these electronics, if it's 30 below and these cars sit for 3 to 4 days at a time, you got to start it, let it idle for a long time.
SWAT vehicles would also be housed inside the garage.
We'd be able to load up these vehicles with the equipment that they need, so when SWAT team members arrive, they could just get in the vehicle and head straight to the scene.
A new evidence room is also included in the plan. This is what the property room looks like now.
We are jam-packed.
There's not much room on the shelves.
How hard does that make your job? It's pretty tough. So in a violent ongoing investigation, what we'll do is we'll move a certain area of property and empty out a shelf so we can keep all the items together.
Police officials say they need the additional space to keep up with the city's growing population. In the next 10 or 15 years, 85,000 people are expected to call Brooklyn Park home.
Population has grown and we've grown. The police department's grown. So, the more police officers you have out there doing their thing, like I said, you end up obtaining more evidence and property.
The expansion comes with an expensive price tag. It would cost about $9 million.
The project is planned to be paid for by the issuance of capital improvement bonds.
And that means homeowners would pay a little more in property tax.
Say a median value home, about $155,000, would probably pay an additional $16 annually for the next 20 years to pay for the bonds.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Architects will meet with Brooklyn Park officials on the design in the fall. The City Council could give final approval sometime in the spring.
A state Supreme Court appeals panel will decide whether to release 2 repeat sex offenders, and one of them would be released to a halfway house in Golden Valley. A special state review board is recommending their release. Kirk Fugelseth would move to the same Golden Valley halfway home that once housed another repeat offender. Fugelseth is admitted to molesting more than 30 boys and girls. Another offender recommended for release is Thomas Duvall. He was convicted of raping a Brooklyn Park girl at knife point in 1987. This after Duvall completed a prison term for a separate rape. The state's sex offender treatment program currently faces legal pressure to prove that it's actually working. So far, in its 19-year existence, only 2 offenders have been released back into society.
A Maple Grove construction company will receive a $300,000 settlement from the state. The company had sued MnDOT after its bid for a St. Croix Bridge project was rejected. CS McCrossan had the lowest bid and the highest technical score, but the state said it didn't meet goals for hiring women and minorities. McCrossan says that assessment was wrong and sued. In receiving the settlement, McCrossan agrees to drop its lawsuit. We haven't reached 90 degrees in more than a month.
Well, that wasn't the case today, and while some folks sought relief at the beach, it is the time of year that some pools close their doors for the season. 12 News reporter Carissa Wyant has more.
It sure seemed like summer here at Worth Beach as kids enjoyed one last hurrah before it's back to school.
We were planning on having some sort of gathering, but then when we saw the weather and we saw it was going to be hot and steamy, we thought, what better place than the beach? Can you say the beach? Beach!
Well, there's a heat advisory across much of the metro today. Most of the summer has been pretty cool.
I did get a membership to Shady Oak Beach that I wasn't really able to use.
But some folks didn't seem to mind.
It's been hard to go swimming in the last couple of weeks, so. But I'm all for less humidity.
Staff here at Worth Beach expect the water to be packed today as the temperatures soar into the 90s. Meanwhile, many other pools in our area are closed for the season. The New Hope pool is empty. It closed Saturday, and some folks may be wondering why.
We have to close this time of year because most of the staff are college kids and they have to go back to school, so staffing becomes an issue. That's why Unfortunately, we closed, and now it gets warm.
In addition to New Hope, the Crystal Pool also closed for the season, but New Hope Park and Rec staff say there's still plenty to do.
Oh, there's plenty of things to do. You can come on out to the golf course and golf. We have plenty of parks. There's so many opportunities out there for families.
Carissa Wyant, 12 News.
And by the way, New Hope Park and Rec says their pool attendance was down about 25% because of cooler temperatures earlier this summer. Well, take a look at the long line going out the door to the Brooklyn Park Community Activity Center on Tuesday afternoon. Parents and students lining up for this first-of-its-kind event called the Back to School Bash to pick up free school supplies like backpacks. Parents could also learn about educational opportunities from more than 40 vendors.
Again, it's an opportunity for them to start the school year off fresh with all the resources and to have back-to-school supplies as well.
While parents picked up school supplies and information, kids could take a bit of a break by playing games.
In the Osseo School District, school lunch prices may be going up. The Osseo School Board is considering a proposal to raise lunch prices by 15 cents. That would bring elementary lunches to $2.30, junior high lunches to $2.40, and senior high lunches to $2.50. School officials say the higher prices are required by the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
Well, this upcoming school year will be a year of transition at Brooklyn Junior High. The school is currently a STEM magnet school, which focuses on science, technology, engineering, and math. This fall, that program's expanding, and the school will transition to become a STEAM magnet school, which adds arts to the focus. It's a change instructors say will better prepare students.
We've done some things with students both in robotics and stuff like that, and saw some gaps that they needed as far as drawing and technological writing, technology writing, and just the technical drawing too and stuff like that. So we added the arts to try to pull in that students that are kind of on the fringe maybe a little bit, that aren't real maybe strong in math or engineering, but by including the arts then we give them more of a broad base.
Now, this week, staff members are learning how to build websites and how to integrate iPads and other technology into the classroom. The change will be gradual and is expected to be school-wide by the fall of 2014. A triathlon is a tough challenge for just about anyone.
But coming up, we'll show you what one Plymouth woman had to overcome before starting her race. And then later in sports, Wayzata's volleyball team gets set for this week's season opener. We have a preview.
But first, an unstable AccuWeather forecast, a chance for storms on Wednesday. More than 1,600 people will put their strength and endurance to the test this weekend in the Maple Grove Triathlon.
One of those people is Cindy Blackstock of Plymouth. Cindy experienced a recent health scare, but it didn't stop her from training. In Health Check, Delane Cleveland shares her story and the special message she has for other athletes who may think they're invincible.
It's a good time. Always is.
On a hot August day at Weaver Lake Park in Maple Grove.
It's a good time to race. Maple Grove Tri is a great race. It's well organized, a beautiful venue, as you can see.
Cindy Blackstock and several of her friends bike and run.
I guess it helps me stay young. I've just turned 41.
In preparation for the lifetime Maple Grove Triathlon.
We partner together, and some of us have strengths, and one of us whines while the other one's happy doing one of the events. So it really helps us get our goals accomplished by training with partners.
But having this opportunity to train with her friends is something Cindy doesn't take for granted after receiving quite the scare last fall.
So it was my very first mammogram after turning 40, and about 2 weeks later I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. So that was in November. I went ahead and had a bilateral mastectomy in December, and then followed with 4 rounds of chemo starting in January.
This past May, she got the green light to again start training.
Very glad to see her on the other side right now, for sure.
Molly Moore is one of the members of Team Cindy who will join her at the triathlon on Saturday.
She's been inspiring me since I met her, because she trains really hard.
Oh, that's kind of humbling.
However humbling that may be, Cindy hopes to inspire others this weekend to, quote, get their mammies grammed.
Athletes, we tend to feel like we're invincible, and we're not. If it can happen to me at age 40 with no family history and no symptoms at all, it can really happen to anybody. So it's really important for everybody to get their mammograms.
In Maple Grove, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
And Cindy has even bigger goals after competing in the Maple Grove Triathlon this weekend. Cindy will compete in the Ironman World Championship in Hawaii on October 12th. So even if she doesn't have a great race, great trip.
Wow, go Cindy. That's
Yeah,
great.
she'll do well though, we know it.
Good for her.
Still ahead, you can have a new experience on the Mississippi River. We'll show you how coming up.
But first, a season preview of the Park Center football team. Jay Wilcox is in next with a look at sports. Jay Wilcox with Sports Now. This is already a busy time of year, not just football getting started, but all sorts of sports.
That's right. School not in session yet,
Right.
but you go around the gyms and fields and it's full go already for teams in volleyball and other sports too. Volleyball teams can have their first matches Thursday. The Wayzata Trojans will hit the court that night. It'll be a team with some new faces, but the goals do remain high. With the season opener looming, there's still plenty of competition for court time for the Trojans. They have just 3 varsity returners and will need to learn to play together in a hurry.
I think we'll have time. I was a little bit nervous just because there was so many new upcoming kids, but I think we'll be good. We'll be good.
It's exciting. It's fun playing with new faces, and we'll just have to see what we bring to the table.
The players coming back are pretty solid. Mariah Halverson, Tia Dilly-Starks, and Marissa Greschel are the captains and will lead the way, especially at the start. Wayzata won 21-9 last season, advancing to the semifinals in Section 6-3A. It's a strong program for sure, but neighboring Eden Prairie and Hopkins figure to be very good too.
It's a good motivation and it's just a good goal for us because we can never be lazy, we can never be like lackadaisical, so it just gives us a good motivation.
Eden Prairie and Hopkins and Minnetonka and Edina, all those teams they're down the road a little bit. We're just taking care of our stuff right now, but we will certainly have them on our radar as the time approaches to play them, and we're looking forward to that. It'll be a great test. So.
Outside expectations may not be as high for Wayzata volleyball as in some recent seasons, but there's a good base of talent to build with here, and it could be a good season again.
We're really fortunate in our community that we have a lot of kids that are invested in volleyball and enjoy being the best volleyball player they can. So just we have a capacity to be good year in, year out because the new faces have worked really hard to get to that point.
Wayzata hosts Apple Valley Thursday night in their season opener at 7 o'clock. Well, the already large Northwest Suburban Conference is going to get bigger. With the North Suburban Conference dissolving at the end of this school year, some of its member schools turn to the Minnesota State High School League for placement help. Totino Grace, along with Irondale and Spring Lake Park, have been assigned to the Northwest Suburban starting next school year. Totino Grace joined the conference for football only starting last school year, and the rest of its teams will follow suit. The NWSC already has 11 member schools. Meanwhile, Fridley and Columbia Heights have been assigned to the Tri-Metro Conference. The Park Center football team faces an uphill battle trying to compete against teams in the Northwest Suburban Conference, but the Pirates played well down the stretch last season. They're hoping to carry that momentum into this year. Here's Jason Malilla with today's training camp report.
Park Center nearly upset Cooper in the section tournament last fall, and coming that close to winning a big game has the Pirates eager to start fast this season.
We felt like we should have won that game, but I feel like we can build on that, and it comes over to this year because we're so close we can feel winning, so I feel like it'll help us do good this year.
We got to get to a fast start this year, start winning games, really make an impact in this conference, Just once we start winning, we'll get our confidence boosted back up, start getting back to the winning ways.
As usual, Park Center will be small compared to other teams in the Northwest Suburban. To counterbalance that, the Bucks will need to be fast and smart.
That's kind of the focus in camp, that just we're a fast team, so play fast the whole game and try to wear down the other team because they're going to be bigger and more numbers than us. So we just got to work hard and fight.
Park Center has only one victory in the 2 years since Ricky Foggy became head coach, and Foggy admits the hardest part has been trying to get the kids to believe they can win.
It really does start right now, and we're just trying to focus on where we need to improve at, where we need to be at, and where do we stand in this conference. If we want to win, we got to win.
I understand what it takes to win, and I can give you the ingredients. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to come out here and work on that craft every day. Every day you're on the field, 2 to 3 hours you're out here. Come out here and give it 110%. Do the best you can, and that's all I can ask for out of my kids.
And this season, Foggy is hopeful his team will get better throughout the year and be playing its best football in late October.
Yeah, go. Watch.
Jason Malillo, 12 Sports.
So look at the Pirates. They were 1-8 last year. 6 starters come back on each side of the football. The Pirates' first game is next Thursday, the 29th, against Anoka, and it's our football season opener on 12 Sports. You can see the game live on the web at www.12.tv. Catch the replays here on Channel 12 Friday at 8:30 and 11 o'clock. So some little hopeful signs there anyway. They're trying to build it up a little bit.
Tough opponent, though, out of the gate.
Yeah, that's a pretty good squad.
All right. Thanks, Jay.
You bet.
Still ahead, we're rolling down the river to get a closer look at nature.
We'll take you along on a unique rafting adventure coming up next.
And finally, a unique way to enjoy nature in the Twin Cities.
The Three Rivers Park District offers a guided rafting adventure on the Mississippi River. And photojournalist Dustin Scholl went along for the ride.
Ready? Boat up. This is a 10-foot. It's a small raft. It holds 4 paddlers and 2 duffers. We enter from the river, so you're going to get wet from about the knees down. All right, go ahead and put the raft down.
But to truly appreciate the Mississippi, I think you got to get your feet wet. And being in there and on it and feeling it, I like that.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to have everybody paddle forward.
They're floating down. They're going past one of the beautiful areas of this river, really natural area.
60% of all waterfowl use this area as a migration route.
And I really like listening to the people on the raft having that experience.
I see it too.
Are they osprey?
Yeah.
They're osprey?
They're seeing islands, they're seeing eagles, they're seeing herons, rock formations, all sorts of different things that they just don't see from shore, or a completely different perspective being on the Mississippi River, which for a lot of people is their bucket list.
It's one of the best jobs.
When it's flowing really fast, not like you think about in Colorado with whitewater rapids, but sometimes where you got to paddle and you have to paddle hard, and that's what you want. You want a little adventure.
Left side, I can use it a little bit more from you.
Our idea is when folks exit the river, they understand the Mississippi better. Its history, its personal history, and also its natural history.
You are grateful for every day you're allowed to come down here and play, because it's never the same. Good job, you guys. Nice.
Good job. The river rafting is $45 for a full day or $30 for a half day. For more information, you can call the Coon Rapids Dam Regional Park, and the number's there, 694-7790. So how many times you've been on the freeway, you zoom across the river and don't even think twice about what's down there. But
I know, and they want you to get your feet wet. So
yeah.
on a hot day, like coming up in the next week, that's a good idea.
That could feel pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
That's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone.
Community Corner coming up next.